Hey guys, it's Bianca Sophia. So this video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a chat I'm having with my friend Dylan, which is she's another part of our family. So Dylan has been awake for a while because I've talked to her through my beginning awakening, like that beginning, area. She probably thought I was going crazy, but now she knows I'm not crazy. Anywho, so she knows the truth about a lot of stuff. So, but we're just chatting about we're going to be touching on all subjects. We were going to touch on ultra programming, but you'll notice we kept getting away from that subject, but that's not surprising. That happens all the time. But the stuff that we did cover was pretty good. It's going to be, we're just going to post these, whenever we decide to do them. And I'm going to post them because there's a lot of good information in here, especially for those that are newly awakening or, I guess they're awakened to the point of knowing the truth about everything, but they want to go to that next level, and that's where Dylan, she's coming into where she's, starting to go through initiations and going through like really interesting, experiences. So, I'm going to stop talking for now and because it's pretty long. So let me go ahead and get into it now. Love you guys. And sorry guys, the sound isn't perfect, but it's what we've got for now. So it will get better. We'll figure out something that will make it sound better. Sorry. Love you guys.
Heroes Demos. Okay, what this is like all of yourselves marrying each other. It's the sacred merge, sacred marriage, sacred. Have you heard of the word Merkaba?
No.
Okay, well it's our vehicle. It's our light body. When you're building that 12th dimensional shield that I told you about, remember you read the script and then you do that 12th dimensional shield?
Yes, I remember.
Okay, that's where you're building your Merkaba. Your Merkaba is your light body. You cannot ascend out of this place without a Merkaba. How do you get your Merkaba? You start to merge with your other selves.
Okay.
It is a sacred merge of the divine feminine. You don't have to be a woman. Okay, divine feminine can be a woman or a male. And the same with the other way, right? So, like, you're probably a divine masculine, Dylan, even though you're a female, right?
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Okay.
And it's so obvious when you look at it it's just, the message is so clear when you see it there, just in person. But go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. So, the sacred merge is when the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies merge into one. So that's what I'm talking about. When I come into sacred union with Michael L., we are merging our bodies and becoming one being, right? So we can travel. So basically, he had taken me to other planets and galaxies and through space-time before. Like, he's showed me other lives that we've lived. But we use this Merkaba to travel together. You're building your light body, but you're also activating your dormant DNA.
I'm just seeing like a light shield right now, like surrounding you. I don't know why. That's what I'm just, when you describe this, what it is, I'm just seeing like...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird to me that I know what you're talking about.
And that's what will keep happening, especially since we're talking again. Like us just talking will start to activate those parts of you. Do you know what I mean? Because we're from the same soul tribe.
Yeah.
Like, you hearing my voice alone will start to activate your soul, because we're merging right now. Our souls are merging right now. Even though you're not here, you could literally come to me telepathically when you start practicing your abilities more.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? You could come to me telepathically. And it's like, people think it's just their imagination, but it's not.
Exactly. And like, that's where I am for people like the people who are just trying to comprehend all this, who are like thinking they're crazy. Like, right. I'm like in that process where like I'm starting to understand that this is not my imagination. Like, this is not something that I'm concocting up. This is something that's actually there, and it's like there's no denying it.
Right, because remember when you were a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we had very active imaginations as children. And we were literally telepathically communicating with the universe, but our parents, it was not allowed. So everyone around us is society. don't use your imagination like that, or it's time for school. You don't have time for that. Get out of your head. Get out of fantasy land. This is the real world. And we have to push that side down away from us. And that would turn off our powers.
And that's when ego takes over, I would assume.
Absolutely.
You know, it's crazy, right? I mean, it just, when you put all this together, yeah. So that makes sense when you're younger and you're...
Well, and do you know why our ego is so prominent here, though? Because when our DNA was deactivated by the Anunnaki and the Na is the negative alien agenda, okay? So any of the negatively polarized service to self factions, okay? What they did was, we were originally a 12-stranded DNA people, right? They came in and they deactivated our strands, so we only have 2. Also is tied to the chakra system. And since our first 3 chakras were turned off, I'm sorry, our first 4, or okay. I'm sorry, our last 4, not the first 4. Okay, so you have a root chakra, okay? You have a sacral chakra, and then you have a soul. Okay. It goes from your private area to your belly button. Those 3 chakras were the only chakras that we had access to.
Okay.
If you don't have connection to your heart, to your throat chakra, to your third eye, and your crown chakra, those are the ones that connect us to Source Creator.
That's what I was just thinking about. Yeah, that third eye. That's literally what just came to my mind.
So split your body in half. Like, cut it right there at the belly button.
Okay.
Okay, actually, right below your chest. Sorry, cut yourself in half. Right below your tits.
Okay.
Okay, below that is all. Those are the only chakras that we had for like thousands of years.
Okay.
So
you know what's really weird, and I don't know if you know any of this, and I'll just for 1 second. That area that you're describing, like right in that chest. I mean, for the past 3 years. Once a day, I have like a discomfort there, and I have to rub it or touch it.
Oh my god!
And rub it for it to go away. And
where is it?
It is like almost right in the breastbone, but it's in the chest.
On which side?
It's right in the middle.
Right in the middle?
It's right. Wow. It's right in the middle. I mean, it's right in the middle, and I have to like rub it, and I have to do something to it on a daily basis to get that sensation to go away.
Oh, that's like right where your heart and your sacral chakra are. Wherever you have problems like that, where you have had pain, there's like a trauma probably that happened right there.
It's almost like something's stuck in there. It's not even a pain.
I have something too stuck in my. Wait a minute.
Stop it.
I have like a ball. It feels like a big. I don't know. It's like a ball. There's something stuck in mine as well, I swear. And it's been like that for years, but I never really talked about it.
And sometimes, I actually went to the cardiologist about it at one point. And he did a whole thing about it, because I had a chest thing, and he said, you're perfectly healthy, there's nothing wrong with you.
Wow. Does it ever, like, feel like it's, like you said, it starts to become painful, right?
It's not painful. It's almost like pressure. Pressure. Yes, pressure.
Like pressure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not pain.
Yeah, I get the same thing, and it's uncomfortable. It's a pressure that's uncomfortable.
And the only time, and I say this generally, the only time I remember that unlocking, and almost like it was a light beam coming out of my chest, if that makes sense, is when I met my twin for the first time. I remember it like a light beam coming out, almost like a superhero, like a light beam coming out of the chest. And that is the time when it unlocked, and then it would close up a lot. But I remember that experience of that light beam coming in and out, like it was a bright light coming, and then it unlocks and then locks a lot. But it hasn't. That light beam has not come out in a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely like your heart chakra being activated. Because, like, you guys are connected. Okay, so with your twin flame, you are connected. You share the same chakra system. Just listen to that again. You share a chakra system.
And you know what was so crazy? She had the exact same symptoms in the beginning. Yeah. She explained it like a light shining out of the chest, that it was something releasing from the chest. And we actually both, the first 2 weeks, got very physically sick.
Wow, that's crazy.
Nausea, vomiting. It was like the whole works. And at one point, yeah.
There's probably a lot of clearing too when you met. There's a lot of activations that go on.
But eventually, ego took over, and all that went away.
Yeah, you have to do the inner work.
Yeah.
And it's not about. Hold on, let me talk to her real quick, okay? It might be a little while though.
When I was going through that, I was clueless. I had no idea.
Right.
I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea what was happening. Clueless. I had no inner work. Nothing.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, it's frustrating, especially like when you're asleep in the beginning there, and you don't have any idea that all these physical symptoms have nothing to do with your health, and it has to do with everything. You manifested it. You manifested this, and it's your spirit, like your spiritual self, trying to tell you what's wrong. And if you go to specific places on your body that are in pain, there's a reason for that pain. Either past life trauma, a trauma. Even if you're twin flame, you might have lives where you guys broke each other's hearts before as well. It happens over and over in every life. They break your heart, but that's done on purpose to keep you away from each other. The Nah stuff's in every life to make sure you're not together. They get involved so you can't be together, because when twins come together, it changes the whole planet.
Now, is that where that programming that you kind of touched on comes into play?
The ultra programming, yes. And then we get rewound into the same damn time over and over too.
And then we're our fate is just it's stuck here.
Right, you're stuck here. And wait, it gets a lot crazier, because those of us from the higher hierarchy of angels, we're here, but we're also in this incarnation working. We're like living all other lives within this incarnation, as we're also living our other multidimensional lives. It's very complex.
Gretchen, for the past maybe 6 months, there's been, I have been like maybe in the middle of doing something, and I will check out for a few minutes, and I'll come back to, and it will take me a second to realize where I am, what I'm doing, and what environment I'm in. And
that happens to me all the time, yes.
And I'm like, what happened? Like, where am I? And I was riding my bike the other day, and it happened. I'm like, this is like, is it me? What's going on? Like, I will come back too.
You're literally traveling, you're literally like going elsewhere. That's why you need to make sure you're grounded on Earth well, because if you're not, you'll be like not here.
No, you're not here, exactly.
You're not here at all. You're like, no thanks. Because you're starting to step into those abilities, and you don't want to be here. You don't want to be in this dense place. You'd rather be out there where you're free. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's crazy that I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. All right, so ultra programming. All right, so this one's gonna be hard. This one's it's really complex. There's so many different parts to it, and there's different levels of it. Like, you have the illuminated naughty ones, right? You know who I'm speaking of?
Yes, I do.
I'm smoking a cigarette, sorry. Okay, so
I think we spoke about it prior to this conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
The top of that pyramid, they have their ultra programming is very, very complex, and there's so many different moving parts. Like their slaves have altars within them, but they also have clones of them that are altars. So they can work. There's a lot of work that can be done. Like say one person has 500 different altars just within themselves, but then they also have 500 clones running around the whole universe.
Now, did people like you and me come here to fight this battle? Is that why we're here right now?
Yes. That's what we came. We came here to.
In simple terms.
Yeah. But it's so complex that our human minds can't really comprehend it until we get all the way up into the higher dimensions again. Because I still don't understand. I try to explain it, and I'm like, as I'm saying it, I'm like, what the am I talking about?
Exactly. And I think it's just by experience and seeing it that you get it. I mean, it's hard to understand. It's hard to explain when it's just there in you, if that makes sense.
You can feel it within you. Like when you hear, it's called, when you certain YouTube channels, you'll resonate and sometimes you won't. The ones you resonate with them, that means that you vibrate at this, you understand the knowledge that's coming in. You can feel it burning within your body.
Oh, absolutely.
Just know.
Perfect.
Just
That's
know,
a
like, I
perfect
know
thing to
this
say.
person is
Burning
telling
in
the
your
truth.
body.
Yeah.
So I get it.
So, like, remember, I don't know if you listened to my session with Ivan at the end where he said, you know, you could say you incarnated to get those clones back, to get these seraphim clones destroyed, so those soul pieces can go back to the archangels and to the whole hierarchy of angels, right?
Yes.
So, okay. So, I'm trying to think of where to stop. At the top, at the bottom, back at the top.
I know.
Because you have to... Okay, let me go into a little bit deeper here. And this is what no one even knows.
Okay.
People think that the illuminated naughty ones are in charge, but they're not. It's the hierarchy of angels. It's the top of the hierarchy of angels. See, we decided to come from the future back to the past again and again to fix this mess. So what did we have to do? We had to become the dark. We had to infiltrate the dark. We had to play by the dark's rules.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Makes perfect sense.
This is where Lucifer comes in, and where Michael comes in, and how they were involved in the dark shit too. It's not like people think, when they hear Lucifer, they're all like, but it's like Lucifer is healed now, but there is versions of him that are still out there that are causing a ruckus.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because when you tell me about Lucifer, I don't usually when people say that you associate that with something negative or the devil. When you speak about that, I don't have that energy. I don't feel those feelings. I don't associate that name with what you're talking about. It's very trippy.
Right, and that's in the beginning when I at first when I heard that when you wake up to this whole child sacrifice thing and this Luciferians and everything, at first you're like, I don't know if I like this Lucifer person, but then there's something like within you that's saying, no, there's more to the story. Lucifer is, and that's what happened to me too. Eventually I was like, no, Lucifer, I know Lucifer. Like, he's an angel, and he's like, it's just you can feel it. You can feel it within.
Yes.
Just like with everything else.
I agree.
So Lucifer came first and saw his brother, his twin brother, in a mess, and he ended up coming too. And I want you to just see it how, like, how they say Lucifer and Michael are the brightest angels of all of them.
Yes.
Right? So I want you to put that on the opposite. The lightest ones can become the darkest as well, right?
Correct. Agreed.
And they used that. The illuminated naughty ones knew this. They knew that the angels had infiltrated the SSP, and that they caught on, and they used that, and they cloned the archangels. They cloned all of them, and they used those for the dark purposes, right? So we have, and so if you think about it, we're really fighting ourselves here.
Oh, fighting! Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
It's a yes, fella. My daughter keeps coming out. Hold on.
The place, the time, it's all planned. Don't worry.
It is. That's true. The truth too. The truth. Isn't that crazy that we plan our deaths before we even come here?
Like, we know when it's going to happen, yeah.
We know when we plan the when, the how, the where, all of that.
Wow.
So, like, when I overdosed in my 20s, it wasn't my time yet. I already had a plan to die, and that's why I was saved.
Gotcha.
That's because I have a mission. But do you know what I mean?
Oh, man, I mean, I was in the hospital for almost a month, I was with the breast cancer, and I had a mastectomy and whatnot, I wasn't my time yet either to go.
Right.
I feel like people, like, experience, like you and I, we experience these big traumas, in order to wake up. In simple terms, for people who are like me to understand.
Because, that's the only thing, that's the only thing, and I know it sounds fucked up, but trauma is the only way
that will wake you up.
Right.
That's the only way.
And I love that you're looking at it from this point of view, because usually when people first wake up, they don't like the trauma and stuff, they can't handle it, but that's what makes you wake up. That's what forces you to, ooh, I heard Lucifer come through there.
Oh, no, I had, you know what? My stomach just turned a little bit. When you said that, I had a little bit of, like, a energy, like...
Because you're recognizing your brother's voice. He's coming. Yeah, he's coming. He's talking right now.
No, I'm nervous.
Hey, Bill.
Stop it. Stop Stop it. I know I saw him. And can you ask him if that was him on a white horse? No.
On the white horse?
That was I think that was
on the white horse?
I don't think that was I think that was Michael.
That was Michael, and Michael's like, no, that was me.
See, I told you. This is wild.
Michael's always got to come in on the white horse.
Because I thought, I swear it was, I was like, is this in my imagination that I'm seeing this right now? And I'm like, no, it isn't.
No, that was me. That was me. I'm Michael. It's so funny because they'll go back and forth and talk. Like, I have to send you some of the videos where you can hear Lucifer and then Michael cuts in and then Lucifer cuts in and Michael's always like, just go, brother, just talk. Go ahead. I know you want to talk first.
I can see that like a child kind of like brother dynamic for sure.
They are. And they are, you know what's great about the angels? They are like kids. They're children. They're big nerds, they're big dorks, they have the best senses of humor, they love to laugh, and they're very human. And people are like, angels like humans? I'm like, yes, they are the human race. The human race, Dylan, I almost called you Belle again, sorry. The Christ consciousness, Dylan, that the human has is an angelic genetics. The human race, the ones that choose to awaken and all that, they evolved to the whole hierarchy of angels. And they, in turn, become the guardians of the whole multiverse.
It's crazy that I know what you're talking about. It's so weird that I understand what you're talking about.
And see, we all start at the angel level. You start at that first level. Let me pull out my phone so I can tell you this, so I know I'm not getting it wrong.
Because there are levels, right? From what my experience has been through, like, right now, I feel as though I'm on this first level that's about to transition into that next level. And I'm just like, I feel like it's important for people who are listening, who like kind of are like new and don't understand that like, this is all brought to you by experience. You just don't get this. Like, it's a process. You have to learn how to, well, first you got to do the work and look inward. That's the first step. Yeah. I mean, you're never going to learn unless you look inward. That's the very first step, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
And I think once you learn that, you start seeing this, and that's what is going to start awakening you. Because I'm someone that has to learn by facts. I have to learn with it shown in front of me, or I won't believe.
Yes, I am the same way.
I won't believe. I'll think you're fucking crazy.
Right, you have to see it to believe it.
You have.
And that's one of our rules. That is one of our rules at the top of the hierarchy of angels is they must be shown. Humanity has to be shown. They won't believe it until they see it.
Yes.
It has to be done.
And I was stuck in that. And I was stuck in that ways. And until I started the process of looking inward, which was the start of that, I would say, would probably be a year into my separation with my twin. That process didn't start. I was still engulfed with things that don't matter that first year. I didn't awaken, you know?
Right.
And then only...
Do you know why we do that? Why we obsess over others and obsess over all this other stuff? Do you know why we do that?
Go ahead, enlighten me, please.
We do that so we don't have to go within, to look within, because we know it's time, and we know what we're going to find inside is very painful and traumatic. We will do whatever we can to distract ourselves from going within. Because although very enlightening, it is very painful to go and find out what's really within. Because then you also find out that all these people and all these things that are coming at you wouldn't come at you if you weren't calling it in. You have to be a vibrational match. So when you have this dark person come into your life, right, with this low vibration, they wouldn't be able to come towards you if you weren't vibrating at the same level. So then you're like, wow. Because remember, everything is a mirror here. Everything is a mirror.
Everything.
You see everything. This whole universe is a mirror. That's the whole. This whole universe and all the experiences involved in it are about mirroring and about learning from ourselves. So, yeah. What was my original?
That we don't wake up unless shown.
Right. Okay. And then the why we get these experiences.
Obsess over people. Yeah. Why we obsess over the people.
So we can focus on someone else.
Because we don't want to look where we're at. We don't want to look inward. And
we don't want to focus on ourselves. We want to focus on someone else. And also, we want these people to love us. We want something in the material realm to love us, to make us feel whole. But the only thing that's going to make you ever feel whole
is ourselves. It's ourselves. It is wild how these pieces come together, man. It is wild. It's unbelievable, Gretchen. It really is. And without going into detail, you know, the consequences I experienced forced me to look. I had consequences tied with my separation that forced me to look inward. I was forced by trauma and this to look inward. I had no other choice in the matter.
Right.
The universe put me in a cage, and my twin actually led me to that cage and put me in that cage in order to look and see what was going to awaken.
Oh my God, that's great.
Isn't that wild? And it's so wild to me. And I didn't start that process until it was shown to me in facts what was going on.
Wow.
And then everything else just comes together after that.
Yeah.
And it's not about, and I realized too, it's not about a romantic relationship. It's not about an emotional relationship. It has nothing to do with that. It's about the person leading you to be your higher self. That's all that it's about.
Right.
It's wild.
And it leads you to their higher self. So, like, for instance, I kept coming into contact with all of Michael L's, so Michael's and Lucifer's lower human selves, right? All these different versions of him, right?
Okay.
Like, and not only him, but Metatron as well. Metatron's another connection I have he's like, since I'm, like, my highest self is Sophia, she has two twins. She has Metatron, and then she has Michael L, which is creepy. It's creepy because they're her sons.
Okay.
So she's the mother of the seraphim. She's the mother of the dragons. It's really complicated. So, like, her sons are her twins. But it's like, it's so hard to explain because it goes down and down and down as we fractalize and fractalize and fractalize and fractalize and fractalize. And then remember, we go into these experiences, then we fractalize and we fractalize and we fractalize. It's crazy.
And you also said to me that stuck out, there's fragments of different twins. We have a lot of twins, and there's little pieces of it, and different people we meet along the way.
Right. Like for example, and then there's also the clones too, that will come to you in the astral or when you're sleeping and or telepathically.
Now, is that when people say, "Oh, I have deja vu. I feel like I've met you before"?
Right. Because you have.
Because I have, and I feel like those are those people.
Yeah. And you know what else? I wanted to mention this real quick. Another thing that we do, since we are at this top of this hierarchy, since we, while I'm on the subject, I wanted to go through it real quick.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, while we're here in this human experience, we have levels to go through. But out of here, we already made it to the top. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so basically we start out as angels, okay?
Okay.
And then we graduate to archangels after we have an experience. Then we graduate and go back, okay, to do it again. Then we graduate to that third level, which is the principalities. And then we go back, okay, and experience it again.
No!
Then we graduate to level 4, which is the powers. Then we go back to the experience again. And then we graduate to the number 5, which is virtues. Then we get sent back to experience it again. And get to level 6, which is the dominions. And then we go back to another experience. Then we graduate to the number 7, which is the thrones. Then we go back to the experience. We graduate to level 8, which is the cherubim. Then we go back again. And then we graduate, which is the highest level, which is the seraphim.
Okay.
And as we're going up, we're integrating those other higher aspects of ourselves. Like I told you, the cherubim are, I know it's probably hard to understand, but like the cherubim are 2 archangels merged, and then like I said, the 9th level is the seraphim, which is 3 archangels merged. And then there's even a level above them, which is the super archangels. They are known as the supreme angels.
And is this how we win this war, going through these different levels?
Yes. This is why and how we're going to win the war. And all of this level of this hierarchy of angels is part of the SSP, and people don't even know that. This is part of the SSP. People think of the SSP, they think of just the human SSP, the human part, with the aliens involved, right? But there's a whole other separate part of this SSP that's the Angelics that like I said, the illuminated naughty ones think they're in charge, but there's a whole nother hierarchy behind them that infiltrated the illuminated naughty ones. Do you understand?
Wow. Yeah, I know. I feel a lot of activation going on right now inside me, for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. It really just goes level and level and layers, huh?
Right, it's like an onion. It's never ending.
It's just a never-ending peeling, huh?
And that's why they say as above, so below. Because, like, we are fractured in this experience, but we're also fractured in the angelic hierarchy as well. It goes all the way to the top.
Now, I have another question for you. I want to touch back on the programming and whatnot, because that's something that really was stuck out to me with what you said. Now, I have recognized, I've asked you earlier, I've recognized what journey and path I'm on and what's going on and the process of what's going on. And, I asked you a question if my other flame was aware of what was going on or if she was in the know, and you answered with, and touched base a little bit on the programming. And I just was wondering about that and what was, what that was.
Okay, hold on one second.
And I know you've been trying to avoid the subject.
The ultra programming, yes. Because it's so hard to explain, and it's so... Hold on, I want to read what I said. Hold on a second. I know I asked no, but then I was getting that, like, these other parts of her... Do you know? The parts of her that have alters and clones, right? You're a twin.
Okay.
Okay, so basically your twin has alters and clones, both. So her clones, since they have the same abilities and powers... Okay, you know how sometimes we're turned off?
Yes.
Our abilities are turned off. Okay, but your clones' powers are not turned off. They're enhanced.
Okay.
So, and they know those clones, like...
Now, is that when I get sometimes I'll be going throughout my day and all of a sudden I will have a very overwhelming sense of energy that is directly related to my twin. I don't know if it's negative or positive. It comes out of nowhere and it's just a sense of...
It's positive. It's positive. It's positive. That's the higher version of her coming in to help you, right? Like you, and it's, especially if you think of it, like you think about her and then all of a sudden you have this energy, she's like merging with you for a moment to help you with your energy levels. And it's not the 3D one or even the fourth dimensional one. This is probably her higher self coming in.
Okay.
And helping you. Like, so maybe your higher, some twins share the same higher self.
Okay.
But then some share, like I'm my highest self is Sophia, so it's like let me try not to explain that one. I can't explain that one right now. It's too hard because I can't even explain it to myself yet. So, but so her higher self, her archangelic form, yes.
Okay.
Which is the second level of that hierarchy of angels, right? It's only level 2, but it's still very powerful. I want you to think about how powerful archangels are in general. Just regular archangels, right? Very powerful.
Yes.
But understand that's only level 2. Do you see what I'm saying?
That's,
and they are very, very effing powerful. So her archangelic self, her higher self, is visiting you all the time. You can just call out to her, and she'll come. Do you know what I mean? You can ask for energy, ask for healing, ask for help. And until you find out exactly who that is, specifically what her name is, I'll probably help you find all that out. You call her and you say, I'm calling on my true, authentic, organic twin flames. You got to sit down and meditate. Sit down and meditate. Take some breath. I'll help you in regards to that too, how to do that.
Okay.
So once you're in a meditative state, and you don't even have to be in a meditative state. You're going to get to the level where you don't have to. I don't have to meditate to talk to my twins. They're always here all the time. Sometimes I have to tell them to go away, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, in the beginning, you meditate. You call on them. Say, I'm calling my twin flame.
So maybe I'm just in the start. Sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I said maybe I'm just kind of in the start of this because the presence, I'll be going throughout my day, not thinking. I'll be working, focusing on writing something, and the presence will it's almost like a light switch goes on.
Yeah.
And it just
you have work to do.
It's there.
And she wants you to know she's there. She wants you to know she's trying to tell you that you have work to do. And I feel like that's another reason why I was pushed back towards you, right? Like Michael, I was like, all right, it's time to talk to Dylan again. Because she has work to do, right?
And I feel like you're absolutely right. Absolutely right, because the last 6 months, I feel like I'm right on the cusp, and there's just one more thing that I have to do, or one more kind of transition into the next step.
Right, because you're always leveling up. You go through initiations, and the initiations are not fucking easy. Excuse my language. Oh my god, my 5-5 on the phone. That's Divine Mother Sophia's numbers.
Oh my god, nice.
I know it's a different time where you are, but here it's 555.
Yeah, no, it's 255.
So, where was I again?
Divine, no, I don't know.
About your twin. Oh yeah, the leveling up, the initiations, the leveling up. Okay, so once you get to another level up, it's like you think oh yay. Remember how they call it the dark night of the soul, but I call it the dark life of the soul because that shit never ends.
It just never, yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, it doesn't end. You're not. Here's the thing: once you heal yourself, you have mission work.
I'm laughing because this is so fucking crazy.
It's true.
I just said this. I said this to somebody a few weeks ago. I said, "When does it end? When is this process going to end?"
No, it doesn't end. It doesn't end.
What am I missing that it's not ending?
It's never ending. It's here. Michael's coming in. Hold on. It never ends. It never ends. You are here to learn. You are here to heal. And it never ends. Do you think it ends when you leave this experience? No, it does not. Well, okay, you'll get a break, right? But if you are at the top with the seraphim, which you are, you will continue to do this work. And Bianca's not happy about hearing this either. She's kind of giving me the, sorry, dear.
Yeah.
At the top, you will always have work to do because you are the guardians of the multiverse. Do you think the multiverse is always peaceful?
No, never. I'm sure no.
No, we are always working. But the cool thing about when you get to the top is you can just shoot off into your own pocket dimension and have fun with whoever you want to have fun with and co-create and go have an experience whenever you want because you are not confound by the laws of this physics, this earth quantum, I'm sorry, not quantum yet, but you're bound by time here. And time is not real. You will be working out of time eventually. All right, thank you, Michael.
That was not, Gretchen, that was crazy. I heard that was, I'm so glad we have that on record. That was, thank you, Michael. I knew that was him speaking the whole time.
It's like, I just can't do it right now. I don't know what that. And here's Lucy. You can hear his voice. Stop it, you guys. Please, I'm not into it today. It's not like because they're always with me for a year now. Every day of my life, 24/7. They're always with me, and it's so funny. I can tell when I just realized today. There's moments when I'll wake up when it's completely quiet, right, and I don't hear a single thought entering into my head, and I'm thinking, what's going on? And I've always thought it was me. But now what I'm thinking is my higher self, the one that sees them when I'm sleeping, there was a fight or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll wake up and it's quiet. And I'm like, where are you guys? And I'm thinking, did my higher self and them have a fight or something? Did something happen? And that's why they're not talking to me? Do you know what I mean? Because when we sleep, we go to the angelic realms.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
And we get unfortunately, and I've talked to Michael and Lucifer about this, and Michael Lau, that when we are returning back right before we come back to our bodies, they take those memories away from us. And I'm just like, can you please let me keep the memories, please? I'm like, no. No matter how much I beg and try to get them to let me have my memories, they say no every time. They say, and I always ask why, but I understand now why is because they said if you had the memories, you would kill yourself. Because being home is so much better than being here. Do you know what I mean? It's painful
to be here.
So we're not allowed to have those memories. They will not let me have them. Like I said, they said that you will maybe make it a week and you will end your life because you'll want to come home.
Yeah.
That's how much better it is.
Wow.
That's how much better it is. And that's why us and the seraphim at that seraphim level are very prone to addiction and drug addiction and alcoholism is because we want to feel like that, like how we do at home. We feel high as fuck at home. Do you know what I mean?
I am just still blown away by Michael just coming through. I mean, the energy dropped, the voice. I mean, the energy went up, the voice switched, and you went on such a deeper, like, just rant, like, just such, like, I can't even describe it. I am so blown away by that. Like, that was just another thing that showed me facts, you know?
Isn't that cool? Yeah, hold on a sec. You gotta listen to my other videos. I'll send you the ones that where they come in the whole time and they're speaking through the whole video. I don't even talk at all.
Mm-hmm.
I've been meaning to send you those. Hold on 1 second, okay? Hold on. What is it, Bella? Okay. All right. So I know we keep see how I keep running away from the ultra programming talking.
So yeah, you keep running away from it. So question for your twin in this 3D world. We both know who that person is. Now, there's
many of them. Michael and Lucifer are many humans. They told me, and I have this in the videos. There's 12 of Lucifer and there's 12 of Michael, and they have they're of every zodiac sign. Isn't that cool?
That's crazy.
So there's like a Michael version of a Libra.
So anyway, back to the original question. I asked you before if my twin knows, and you answered with no because of the programming, and I'm still interested in this subject.
Okay, yeah. So your twin, she's she has a lot of programming. And
now, before we start this real quick, lately in the past, I would say about the past week, I'm having this, what I thought was in my imagination, of course, and I still struggle with it being in my imagination or not.
Babe, listen to this. I don't know who called you babe. That was not me. It's probably Lucifer or something. That was not me. I don't know who said that. But you will... see, this fucked me up. Lucy, why do you do that? I hate that. What was I saying? I'm sorry.
I forgot too. What happened?
Her programming. The twin.
The twin and someone just came in and threw a wrench. They don't want us to talk about this, huh?
They don't. Do you see? And I'm telling you, it's my own altars, and it's my masculine's altars.
Like, I'm starting to get a little confused myself, right?
Yeah, you start losing your thoughts and it's telling you it's my own. I only have like one altar left, so when I'm being messed with now, I know that it's Michael and Lucifer's altars or their clones coming through.
Oh my God! So remember I told you I was being messed with earlier, and I couldn't help but to laugh. I stood back and I laughed, and I said, why are you guys messing with me?
Yeah, I do it all the time. Call them out. I always call them out.
Yeah.
I even have a video, Bella. Sorry, I keep calling you Bella. I even have a video, Dylan, where an altar comes through, and I recorded it. I posted it.
Oh, really?
It was my own altar. She was just cursing at me and putting me down, and I posted it for the world to see.
So that's they're called. So those are the altars are the ones. Oh my God! See, my thoughts are getting lost again. This is great.
Yes, because it's the programming, and it's also the programming. It's not just the altars. It's your internal programming that if you touch on a subject, your mind goes right to that trauma when you were programmed against looking at that. So one day you were literally traumatized, okay, against looking into the subject.
Okay.
You received the trauma so bad that your mind split, fractured.
Wow. Like my mind just split. I've completely lost my thoughts on what I was talking about.
Right. Because we're revisiting a trauma that you were split from. Do you see what I'm saying?
Wow.
And that's whenever this happens, if you're ever going about your day, listen to me, this is very important. Whenever you're going about your day, and you know how sometimes you'll be talking about something and you'll completely lose your train of thought? This is an altar that has stepped in.
Gotcha.
Okay? And it's like these altars, they believe they're helping you. Like, they were, in the beginning, they did help us, okay? Because we weren't ready for this shit, right? But now they need to understand that it's time for us to become one again, and they don't need to protect me from anything
So
anymore.
they think that we're protecting us. So this is what my story, back to this afternoon.
Right.
So I was hanging a left onto Burton Way, turning around. I'm like, and that's the last name of the twin. And then, as I'm doing that, I get this drunken, angry text from my mother that has no meaning or value of anything. And I'm like, And I'm like, I said out loud, I said, soon you're not going to be able to do this anymore. And I laughed to myself.
Right.
And I'm like, this is crazy. I said, and that's what I believe, I guess, is an altar, what you're saying. Something that's coming through to protect me from awakening from my true form.
Right, right.
I get it.
Like I said, there's so many different levels. You have leveling, that's just regular trauma. But then you also have the ones that the altars were actually created, which is that's the harder truths. Like, okay, so all of us that are under ultra programming.
All right, back to the programming. Let's talk about it.
Right. This I'm getting into it. All of us that are under ultra programming have been sexually abused, raped, and the worst sexual traumas that you can imagine. And this is where people don't want to hear it. This is what they do to a child to break their mind. And this is what they did in my labs. I hope I am allowed to say that one. Shit. I'm just going to keep it. Fuck it. I'm just going to keep it. Whatever. If my channel gets taken down, I'll just make a new one.
Okay.
So these are... Have you ever heard of the term My Lab?
No.
Okay, well, they're basically... they're for those that are in the SSP. I guess I'm just going to say all the words. The SSP, the Secret Space Program, whatever you want to call it, and it is a military... excuse me. The My Lab stands for military abduction.
Okay.
Okay, so, and this is what they use to program those that are going to be involved in the world. Okay, they do this to every celebrity that you know are all under this My Lab. They're all under ultra programming, every single one of them. You do not get a spot on this world stage without it.
Gotcha.
If you are rich and powerful, the same thing. But see what happens in regards, so for an example, let's bring up our ex-president. He's still our president, but I don't want to say his name because it's another red flag.
Yes, gotcha.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay. He's very rich, right? Okay. He's a billionaire, right? He's very rich and wealthy, and
yes.
He's okay. Well, he's still our president, by the way. But he broke through his programming early on.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Now, are people like you and me? Did we break through, or we were never under that?
We were under that, unfortunately, yes. We were put through this, but we're breaking out of it now. That's what spiritual awakening is all about.
Gotcha.
See, everybody on the planet is traumatized in some form or another, either by the news or by the the air they breathe. You know how everything is the air we breathe is poisoned, the food we eat is poisoned, the chemtrails, all this other
I get
crap.
exactly what you're saying, like you're breaking out of a shell almost, like a bubble.
Right.
Gotcha.
And everyone on this planet is traumatized at different levels.
Okay.
Okay, and unfortunately, the stronger you are, the stronger soul you are, if you are a seraphim, unfortunately, you were traumatized the worst.
Okay.
The strongest souls get the worst. Do you see what I'm saying? Because
I know exactly what you mean.
We started at the bottom of that hierarchy of angels, and that was when we were probably just going through the regular human experience without just maybe the trauma of the news, and that's it. But as we came back, the trauma got harder. And we got more fractalized. We got more fractured. Our minds would split more and more and more every time we came.
We fell deeper into the onion.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And we knew as we were doing this, when we get back to the top, we were going to have to do it again. And at that last time, the last hurrah, we were going to have to collect every single fractal back.
Okay.
So... And you have to understand, there's, remember, like I told you, the angelics are also fractured. So that's a whole different, but I don't want to get into that yet because we have to cover the human fractured side first.
Yes, that's what,
okay?
Yeah.
So what this looks like is they will start with a baby. They'll start us when we're in baby, and then you're wondering, how does this even happen, right? And your parents are also under this shit, okay? They're also victims of this. This is how it all works. So, and it starts usually as a baby. Now, those in the 13 bloodlines, the 13 illuminated naughty ones, the 13 bloodlines, they, usually what they do is they will always take the child out early. It's, preemie, right? So they force this trauma birth on the mother.
Okay.
Because, and before, let's start, sorry, let's back up before that even. That was Lucifer's coming through here. I can hear him. Excuse me. Back up. The trauma begins in the womb before the baby is even fully grown. They play very loud music to the fetus. They will kick the mother in the stomach. They will send the mother down the flight of stairs while she's still pregnant. The trauma begins way before the birth. And the birth, is forced. Okay?
Okay.
So they will give them either the mother medication to make the baby be born early. Sometimes they'll do a C-section. It depends on whatever.
What is going on? Hold on. My phone keeps like doing something weird. Can you hold on 1 second? What is going on?
Because Lucifer is coming through that.
I just had to interject here because of how we get interrupted in the middle of this, ultra programming talk. And the whole time, like I said, we kept trying to, something kept trying to push us away from this subject. So I'm not surprised at all, but I did not know it was this silent for this long. So very, very, very interesting. And yes, Lucifer was pushing through at this time. He was trying to speak on it. He was trying to speak about this.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Weird, I don't know. My phone, I couldn't hear. Now, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
But yeah.
I don't know what happened. I just got somebody kept calling my phone. I don't know the number. They called once, hung up, 3 different times.
I'm telling you.
I don't know the number either.
It's not an accident. It's not an accident.
Alright, let's
It's not an accident.
I feel like somebody just distracted me from what you were saying. So go ahead again.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It wasn't an accident. And Lucifer keeps telling me it wasn't an accident. It's not an accident. It's not an accident. They always do this. You'll notice your technology will start acting up too. When I film certain episodes for my show, my phone will just not work at all. Ew.
Is it a white rabbit?
How funny is it? I just noticed that it was a white rabbit. How did I not catch on to that until this month?
I know.
That whenever in the beginning of your awakening, you're told to follow the white rabbit. How did I not pick up on that until? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's again when you look at it right then and there.
Yes, it's crazy, right?
The answer is so simple and it's right there in front of your face.
Right, it's right. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why people are always the people that are still sleeping. They're like, how did we miss it? It's been right in front of our faces this whole time.
It's right because I think it goes back to the programming and from what
programming. It is. It's all programming, all of it. And like I said, there's many levels of it. There are so many different fucking levels to this programming. Sorry, I keep calling you Bella. I'm sorry. Like I said, it's all about, if you knew the lengths just here on the human plane, it's crazy. Like I told you, the TV, the 5G, the air that we breathe, the food, the drink, every single thing that we're taking in is programming and a distraction.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
And remember, we've got the programming. It starts when I'm not talking about Ultra. I'm talking about the regular right now. It starts when we're children too. If you think about it, right? We have to go to school every day, get away from our parents, start doing 9 to 5 school. I think it was 9 to 2, whatever the hell it is. School
Life takes over,
yeah.
and you don't really have an opportunity to wake up and see what it is. Stop and smell the roses. I almost call those people having blinders. They're in a tunnel vision.
Right.
They don't have that third eye open. They don't see it.
No, and it's sad, isn't it?
And I'm going through that with my mother right now, and it's almost something I feel like it's kind of a lesson I'm learning because she just will never, she's so under programming and she's never going to understand, and she's never going to wake up, and she's going to keep...
Trust me. I am in the exact same position with you on that. My parents are so asleep, and they just think I'm crazy, you know? But
yeah. And it's like, how do I allow, when I've looked inward and I'm going to a whole higher level, how do I allow to keep these asleep people in my life? Because they're almost, I feel like I'm ascending, and those are the chains that are holding me down.
Exactly, and that's the truth, unfortunately.
And it's a sad thing to comprehend and understand.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately what we do need to do, is we do need to cut those chains and cut those cords, because there's literally cords. Do you understand? There's literally energetic cords that tie you to your family, to the people in your life. And yeah, that's what they're there for. They're there to keep you...
You're crazy. Something's wrong with you. You don't understand.
Right. Yeah, so you need to do cord cuttings, and I'll go over that with you another time, where you can...
It's almost like they want to pull you back into programming.
Right, because remember, you are their distraction. You're another distraction, so they don't have to go within.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So it's something that I'm like what I was telling you, I'm struggling with it right now, because in order to get to that higher self, I have to cut these chains of some sort, you know?
Right. But you also have to look at it like these people that are, you know, lower vibrating, they need you too. Like, you activate them. That's
the balance that I'm trying to find, and I'm hoping by like what we call tough love, you know, that I'll be able to help that activation and that programming, you know.
Right, like every time you're around your mom or you're around these people, your light vibrates their light. Do you see what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you mean, but when her light comes on, when I vibrate her light, she runs away from that.
Well, yeah, of course she does.
To the opposite end.
Right.
And I want to almost shake her today. I wanted to shake her and say, please wake up. I wanted to tell her, please. Like, I have love for you, and I want you to wake up, and I want you to experience this peace and joy. But the unfortunate thing that most people don't.
Right.
And they get stuck here and trapped here in a purgatory.
Yeah, exactly. And then you also have to remember that they have free will, and you can't force anyone to wake up, and they are on their own journey. They have their own plan.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm packing my cigarettes because I know we're going to be getting into the ultra programming.
Okay, good. I'm so curious, because lately, I told you, as of lately, I just feel, and I have it, I like I said, it's one of those things it's in your imagination, but it's so prevalent that it can't be your imagination, is that she is just waking up, my twin. She is just starting. She hasn't know, but I feel it for some reason that she's about to start hers, if that makes sense, because the connection that her and I still share in the 3D world is going to come to an end, and that's going to turn off for her, because she's focusing on that connection in the 3D. So once that connection in the 3D world turns off from her, is when she's going to start to understand what's going on.
Right. Like I said, it's crazy how it works, but you have to completely cut ties and cut cords with your twin flame, because you are different people. It's like you have to rebirth yourself without them as a healthy being, and they have to do the same thing, so you can come back and remerge again as this newly birthed being. You cannot birth this relationship with this programming. You still have programs you have to disconnect.
You both have to be completely disconnected from programming.
Right, you have to be completely healed, because if not, you will break each other's heart on purpose. It's like it's an automatic fuck up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ooh, I just dropped my cigarette. And like I said, when you do come into union, and a lot of twins don't even make it. They don't even end up coming in.
I was going to say, most people don't take the steps to look inward unless they're forced to by some means. Nobody is going to... Most people don't take those steps to look inward. They don't...
No, exactly.
And that's why unions or reunion or any of those things don't happen, because you don't come back together, broken. That doesn't...
Right.
That's, yeah.
Right, exactly.
So...
Here's another thing that I don't know if I ever touched on with you. And this is what we also did, but we also said okay. We signed off on this. We thought it would work, but it would be better for us. But in the angelic realms, remember how I told you we are also under this programming, this ultra programming?
Yes.
Our twin is our handler.
I see how that is.
And so her higher self programmed you when you were a child.
Okay.
So like the adult version of her, she would have looked like her. She would have looked like her angelic form, right? But this was happening in a different realm. It's the angelic pro. It's a little bit different. They had to, it's so hard to explain because I don't even know if I understand it perfectly yet, but they had to make it look real. So when they brought it into the physical with the illuminated naughty ones, they had to do it,
Hold on, someone's ringing my doorbell. Hold on a second.
Of course.
No, I'm on the phone. I'll be back to you in a little bit. Hello. Sorry, of course. My neighbor's fucking. Oh, you got any weed? Come on. Of course. Yeah, you got any weed? Yeah, you're not going to distract me. What is the name of these again that kind of distract you? What are they?
Just distractions. Just call them distractions. That's what they are.
Yeah, no, distractions, but...
It's like the Matrix, like what are those guys, what are they called? In the movie The Matrix, when those guys come in. What are they called again?
I know, the red pill, blue, I know. No, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, though.
The men that come in to mess the Matrix, to mess up Neo.
I forgot the name of them, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, how they can take on anybody, they can jump in anybody.
Yeah.
And they can, that's exactly what happens here.
Exactly.
I think I'm lying. I am telling you the truth.
No! And it's only by facts, just like what happened just right now, that I believe this stuff.
Right.
It just happened in front of my face. We have it on record.
And people always wonder, how did they get away from this? The ones that aren't awake to the fact that there's dark and light and we have to just deal with it. And it's for a good reason. The dark is there for a good reason.
Yeah.
See, someone just knocked me out again. Damn it. This damn altar.
This altar. Yeah, they're coming back through again.
Damn it. They don't want me to talk about this. I swear I was onto something really good there and I just lost it.
But, something's been coming through to me that just, for some reason, I see my twin flames energy in tears saying that I know. All I hear is I know. And it's been, very prevalent over the last couple days of my life.
That's how you know when there's an energy coming through and they'll repeat something over and over on purpose. Usually, I always will hear, Sophia, Sophia, Sophia. They'll say it 3 times sometimes just to make sure that they'll do that to make sure that to help you realize that it's not just your imagination. They'll repeat the things I know.
And then I asked you about it. I even messaged you last night on the messenger, and I wrote back. I said, I don't even need to ask you because I keep hearing it. I know.
Right.
But I just think energy is coming through that it's just that my twin is just about to, she's not awake yet, but she's just about to start, or she's just, the opportunity for her, she's going to have to, everybody has free will, but the opportunity for her to make a decision to wake up is going to be presented in her life soon.
Right.
And of course, you have free will, you can choose to learn or you take it, but I feel like that opportunity and that realm is about to open for my twin.
Right. Let me turn this TV down. Hold on a second. I gotta turn this down, Bella.
And that's what I have to say.
It's funny how free will is because when you are, here's the other part of it, is that if you are like us and a seraphim on of the top there, we don't have free will.
No.
We don't. For the human experience, we have free will.
Okay.
But then for the other experience, where we're doing work, we don't have free will. Our higher self will take over and jump in our bodies and do what it needs to happen because we are here for a mission. And another thing that Seraphim do, so basically some of the work that you're doing right now, when you don't even realize it, you are going into some of these humans and you're making decisions for them. You're making a different decision than they made the last time.
Wow.
Yep.
And I get what you're saying, and I and it's funny, you know what? I get what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying, and you know, you'll get a laugh at this. The other day, I was like, if this is not in my imagination, give me a sign in the universe right now in 3D. It's wild, Gretchen. It's yeah.
We are timeline fixers. So when you go to sleep at night, and even apparently while we're awake, it's happening too. You're literally taking over other people's bodies, and like you are, instead of shooting the guy, you're putting the gun down, or you are not going to say what you said to that person this time around. We are fixing the time. We are timeline fixers. This is a timeline program. So there's so much work that you're doing, you just couldn't even comprehend it.
That I'm not even aware of.
Right, but you're not even aware because you can't, because it would fuck up your human experience. It's too much for the human mind to comprehend. Because think about it, you will have enough problems with this life here. You cannot concentrate on all these millions of lives you're helping.
Wow.
With other, million people or what have you that you're trying to help.
It's wild because my mission, I felt like the thing that moves me and drives me, and I've always felt like this forever, is love and a family and a relationship and a person and a partner. I always thought that was my mission. That was my love. That was the goal,
Right.
In my life. That was the goal. And once I stopped and I was alone, and I started being alone, and now it's been about 2.5 years I've been alone. That obsession and that has been completely lifted from me, and it has transitioned into how can I help people has been my mindset. And it's so weird how that and you've been around me, you know how that relationships have took me down.
Right.
It has been my number one flaw. It has been, you remember, this has been my whole kind of issue, and that has gone and has been lifted and it's away. And lately I've been it has come to me that my mission is light work.
Right, yeah.
And that's why I feel like that transition is happening. And it's crazy because I never thought I would break the obsession of needing somebody.
Right? I know. Doesn't it feel good to break free from it?
Oh, amazing. I don't think I would ever, it would have to take someone very special to me to allow that to come back into my life, because the peace is just so, it's just so nice,
Yeah, for sure.
Not needing anybody.
And here's the thing, it's like when you go, you do the work and you go within, you break off from that 3D, the 3D twins. What happens is you start communicating with their higher self, and you feel the good parts of them, their true soul, their unconditional love. And that's what's helping you get by.
And maybe that's not what's been lifted, the obsession of needing someone, is that I still, and I keep saying, I've said this to you before, I feel her every single day still. It's been 2.5 years.
Because she is within you. So when you close off her in the 3D realm to go within, you know who you find within? You find your twin.
Yeah.
The healed version, the good parts of them, not this 3D version. You get to meet yourself because you are your twin. So you meet your own self, but you also meet your twin, your real twin, the one that's in the higher realms.
Yeah, and I know.
And they're the ones that give you the strength to do the work, to heal yourself.
It's so crazy how I know what you're talking about, man. And this is the part where I'm at, where those people are coming in. Now, so to touch back. Now, just because you're going through the twin flame experience doesn't mean the other counterpart of you is having that same experience.
Not necessarily, no. Some people think that our twins are going through the exact same thing, but that's not always the case. Sometimes they're way behind you. Sometimes they're equal with you. There's so many different paths. And like I said, there's more than one version of her, right? There's, I don't know who she is. I haven't digged into that yet. Mm-hmm. But if it's anything like mine, I've got 24, 36 twins, humans running around,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I get that.
Because remember, the seraphim are 3 archangels merged, so 3 times 12. Remember, I said there's one of every zodiac sign, so that's a lot. That's a lot of humans.
So to break through from this programming, like, from back to that, I mean, it only happens through trauma.
Right. Yeah.
That you remember.
Right. Yeah. Because you're in so much pain that there's nothing on the outside that can help you. There's nothing out there that can calm you that pain. The thing that can is if going within and calling out for source creator and your higher self to come in and say, show me what I need to see. Help me heal. Help me do this. Help me do that. And like I said, all of humanity has these AI boxes in their home. And so the first step would be to get rid of those AI boxes, read that script, do that scripting, call all the beings in so they can witness what you're saying. Say, I do not consent to being cloned. I do not consent to all this bad stuff, right? So
okay.
I'm going to put a stop to it. You've got to get those AI boxes removed because they actually help keep your programming strong. So it's like not even just the technology that you see, the TVs and the phones and all that crap, the food, the water. There's also AI boxes that you can't see that are in your house right now.
I'll know it when I see it, though.
Right.
Right.
Yes. Now, so some people, they get them removed, but they never got to see it. It depends on, it's because I'm a seraphim and I got my crown chakra blown open and all that, so I was able to see it. But
now, do you see it in the 3D realm, or do you
feel it? You'll feel it when it's done. Hold on a second. This truck's driving by. Hold on.
Do you see these AI boxes in the 3D realm, or no?
Yeah, the box that I seen, I only saw one, and it came through like it flickered. It was flickering in and out of my vision, but it's like I was able to see it. Like it was there on my ceiling, flickering in and out.
And it just came out of
hard to explain, like an overlay. Like if you're putting an overlay picture on if you're making a video or you're fixing pictures.
Okay.
When you add a picture on top of another picture.
Okay.
That's what it looks like an overlay, but it's really technical. Like it was like flickering in and out the picture of this AI box.
Okay.
And I was only able to see the one. And like I said, my twin was there, and then remember I felt that burst. I don't know if you watched. Did you watch that video where he was like floating above me and then he disappeared?
No. Oh yes, I did.
Remember I felt a pop.
Yeah.
At my heart, and then he disappeared, and then next night, Michael and all my brothers flew in. Yeah, so it's like once that AI box was removed, I was able to see all this shit. But it's not necessarily going to go like that for everyone.
Okay.
You'll be able to feel if they're gone. It's like you'll just know.
Just how this whole experience has been. You just know.
Exactly, and I'm always here to help you. You can always ask me whatever you need, and just give me a couple minutes, and I can get an answer for you. But I have to, like I said, sometimes altars and clones want to come through and mess that up. So I have to do I transmute myself with the vibe. I'll teach you all that. I'll teach you how to, clean your energy out, so there's no, interference coming through. But like I said, you read that script every day. You do that shield building. You have to build that Merkaba. That's what we were talking about. The Merkaba. Remember?
Yes, the Merkaba, the light shield.
Right, so that light shield thing, remember how there's a Merkaba that it's a triangle, it's a 3D pyramid, two pyramids, one's upside down, and so one of them rotates right, the other one rotates left at different speeds. One of those pyramids represents the divine masculine, the other pyramid represents the divine feminine. So when you're building that light body, you are actually building your Merkaba, right? And what will happen is, as you start to level up, you'll be able to travel in this Merkaba with your twin. You'll become one. So basically, you will merge with your twin's higher self, and since they have connections to the higher realms, because that's where they're from, they will take you on trips through different lifetimes, different planets. You will literally travel in space, Dylan.
Oh my God.
It's very cool. So you have to get on that. You have to start building that shield, because what's happening is, your light body is being activated, the body that you're going to use in the new earth. And then also your dormant DNA is being activated every day. Every day you build that, you're activating more of your DNA. Right? And then also having that is protection. When you have your light body and all this, the Merkaba activated, these beings cannot mess with you. Like I said, that's when they go to the lengths of using your own clones against you. And like I said, it's a lot harder for us at the top because they know who we are, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the only way to get through us is by using our own clones, and it's brilliant if you think about it. They use our own damn clones to come in our bodies and to mess with us. That's what they had to do because no one else is allowed to come through because you only allow yourself and your twin. So they will use your own twin and your own clones to attack you.
That's crazy.
And then these clones and alters, they believe they're protecting you. And some of them are. You know what I mean? I mean, think about it. The dark is there to wake us up, so they are an integral part of our growth. Right?
I mean, they're trying to protect us from the dark, but the dark is what wakes us up, like you said.
Right, we need the dark. So basically, like when I'm getting attacked, I'll get a little upset for a while, but then I thank them. I thank the attackers because they just made me level up, and now I'm able to kick their ass.
Absolutely.
They make me fight back. My higher self will let it happen all the time. My highest self, so it feels like, okay, go ahead, clones.
No, you're right. Every time I get attacked, I level up.
Right. And then you start to fight back. You start to what you do is you hold your hand out, you imagine, use your imagination. It's not just your imagination. You imagine light coming out of your hands because you have chakras on your palms, right? Light comes out of your chakras on your hands, your palms.
Okay.
You hold out your hand, you imagine light coming out of your hand, and you send love to that clone or to whoever it is attacking you. And they will run in the opposite direction. This
whole light beam thing is just wild to me because, like, the first week I told you I met my twin. It was light beams from my chest to my hands coming out.
Yeah, because she probably blew open your heart chakra and those chakras, so light could come out of them because they were closed.
And I felt it. I felt it coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I know what you're talking about. Like I'm gonna reach that again, where that. Yeah. Is going to be open, but it's going to be done by self versus with somebody who can show me. She's just showing me the gift, right?
Right. Yeah, in the beginning, your twin higher self will help you, but then eventually they want you to take over and do it yourself. But whenever you're fighting, they're there with you fighting. Do you see what I'm saying? But they want you to do it yourself. They want you to step in your own power because you are them. You are the same being.
God, it's so amazing when you take a step back and look at it. Yeah.
Isn't it beautiful? And also the whole
It's beautiful and it's so weird because the things in the 3D realm that I've been through with my twin, anybody who would have been asleep would be angry, pissed, remorseful, angry, vengeful.
Right.
They would experience a whole realm. They would pretty much hate this person. Anybody who was asleep, they would have such hatred. This person would take them down and destroy their life, and this person would moving forward with their behavior, this person would have an influence, if that makes sense.
Right.
And this is wild, man. See, now my thoughts are getting confused again.
By how you are reacting to it. Remember, it's all about how we react to all the situations that we're put in. You can look at the situation like it's going to ruin your life and let it ruin your life, or you can fucking, level up. Let it level you up and see what can I do to help myself in this situation.
But I have I have such appreciation and such gratitude for what the 3D world considers a bad thing. I have such gratitude and appreciation, and I consider it a beautiful thing because it's been such a starting point for me and such it's a tool of awakening.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and I have so much love for it. And it's weird because on the opposite end, people think you're crazy. People would say, oh, you should hate this person.
Right.
It's crazy, right?
People have resentment.
Have resentment, hate them, they're terrible, look what they did to you. And it's like, no, man. It's the opposite.
I love them even more for showing me myself.
And people think
to work on.
This world the world's crazy to think that. And if I said this to anybody else, they would think I'm fucking nuts.
Right. So isn't it nice to find, like I said, I don't really talk to a lot of people because I feel like most of them are programmed to try to come in and mess with me. So it's like I'm very guarded at this time. So it was nice when Michael Al and Lucifer were like, all right, it's time to talk to Dylan again, right? And I was like, okay.
Oh.
Sounds about right.
It has because
Michael showed me. It was Sarah from Mikhail showed me. He was sitting. I don't know if he was sitting on his throne or something. And you were sitting right next to him, and you had a crown on your head. It was really beautiful, blonde
Really?
I don't know, maybe you like it long and blonde hair, but you had long blonde hair. You had the bangs. You had bangs, I think, and you had a crown on your head.
Really?
And he showed me sitting right next to him. I thought that was very interesting. I was like, oh, so she's up there at the top with us. He was showing me that you are part of the seraphim, part of that top level.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And I thought, I'm going to refer to it as like an imagine. It makes perfect. It does make perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah, all my therapists always thought I was.
Because I wasn't still upset with you, but I hadn't thought about you in a while. But then I saw him show me that, and I was like, oh, Dylan, she's got a crown on. I did not imagine that. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't even thinking about you. You just popped in my head, and there you were, sitting there with your crown on, with wings and shit.
And out of nowhere.
Right, out of nowhere.
It's funny. I was just right before you reached out. I was just like having a sense that this chapter was coming to an end.
Right.
And there you are. And then you said, then you said there's dark moments ahead, and all of a sudden,
there's darkness coming.
There's darkness. I can feel it coming in the air.
I always think about that song in regards to the awakening process and all that.
Yeah, me too.
Always.
And I just don't know that, the thing with my mom, I know, and I'm kind of at a dead end with, and it's something I think that's gonna, I think I'm gonna go through.
I'm going to be posting this, so just remember that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
There's something, and you can cut this out, this is just, if you want, friend to friend. There's something there with my mom that's going to, the relationship there and how things have been operating and acting, because I've really recently had some revelations on that aspect, and there's something that's going to be painful that I have to do in that aspect, and I'm a little anxious about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not sure what it is yet.
Yeah, you don't have to, don't even worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
When your higher self is ready to show you, she'll show you. Or he'll show you. They will show you.
Okay. Because you said that, yeah. It's hard dealing with people who are asleep,
Trust me, I know. My parents, like I said, both of my parents, my whole family, except I think a couple of my aunts are they're into the spirituality and they know about energy work and all that, but they still are, what the Bible says goes, right? And that's not real. That's not the way it is at all. The Bible was inverted and all that, but I don't want to go into that right now.
No. I don't even remember why we stopped talking. I think it's
because, and I'll tell you why. It was, it had nothing to do with you. It had to do with, this was my next level up. I had to do it alone, completely alone. I had not one friend during this last year. I mean, I did. It's complicated, but this is, remember, right after we stopped talking, this is when the angels came in. Okay. I was cut off from everybody. Everybody. Remember Ryan was, remember he was abusing me?
Ryan. Oh, yeah.
Remember he wouldn't tell me who he was, and he was messaging me constantly. And
Yeah.
I thought it was Andrew.
Yeah.
I thought it was Andrew, remember?
Mm-hmm.
That was an all ultra programming stunt, by the way. That was all these altars that were activated, all these clones of my twins, all these fractals of my twins they had to come in and mess me up. So I would go on to that next level up. And yeah, Andrew had to do with it, Ryan. There's more I just don't want to mention. These are names I've already mentioned before. I try not to mention their names too much, but it is what it is.
Yeah. That's weird, because I don't like mentioning my twin's name at all either.
Yeah.
Just their 3D Earth, their 3D name.
Right. So, let me think.
I kind of lost my train of thought there for a second.
Yeah. We're talking about, did you notice whenever we talk about altars and stuff, or clones, you lose train of thought?
Yeah.
Because when I say the word altar, the altars perk up, because that's one of my jobs here on Earth, I am integrating all the altars of all the seraphim, all of them. I'm helping with that. So, when I call upon an altar, they come. If I sit down and I meditate, I will say, okay, I'm calling in all the altars of the seraphim, from even the angels to the seraphim and all those in between. I call in all altars. They come. And then next thing when I look up, there's like thousands and thousands of clones all around me.
Oh my God.
I think I'm joking.
No, I don't.
And I can see them. Like sometimes there'll be some of these angels I've never seen before, but lots of them, they have weapons, right? And they'll start like coming at me, like holding a weapon, and I just laugh at them, you know? I'm like, it's okay. This is a safe space. You don't have to use your sword, you know, or whatever the hell that is in your hand at me, you know? It's okay. It's going to be okay. I try to tell these alters that they feel like they aren't anyone. They feel like they're powerless and that they, you know, they're nobodies. That they're just an altar. And I try to tell these alters that they are somebody.
They have a lot more power than they think.
Right, just like us. They are not just an altar. They are part of something bigger, just like we are. Right?
Yeah.
Here comes Lucifer coming through again. You heard him? So it's like, you can say that we are the altars of the seraphim. Look at it like that.
Okay. God, it's like an onion. Just layer after layer after layer after layer.
Right. So, like, all of us down here are altars of our higher self. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Right. And then we also have altars down here in the human experience. Right? It's crazy. So, and, you know, regular humans that aren't in the programs, they also have, it's called soul fragmentation. Okay, so, and this is, so, let's start with the regular basic programming, like regular human.
Okay.
Whenever a human being has a trauma happen, their mind will split. Their brain, their consciousness will split. And that consciousness piece that was traumatized, that broke off, will stay in that time space forever. Until you come claim it back.
Oh.
So they will be reliving that. But not always. What happens a lot, say...
no, that makes perfect sense.
I'm going to give an example. Say a child is punched by their father, right? And so that's a traumatic experience. So,
their mind splits, and that's
right.
what stays prevalent.
Right. So their mind splits, and the part that can't handle that trauma will go on living their life. But there's a part of that consciousness that will be stuck in that time. And that consciousness piece will usually run. It leaves your body. It will literally leave your body, okay? And it goes into the astral and it hides.
Okay.
And it will just stay there. 20 years will pass and it will still be there until you come and go back and get it. That fragmentation.
Okay.
And so, you know, the Nazi.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
N-A-Z-I.
No.
No. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean...
Those guys?
Yeah.
Okay. They're the ones that started all this. They had, they were, and like I said, I think it goes way deeper than that. I think.
Why are you spelling that word out? Is that a bad word?
Because I don't want to say it. It'll flag my channel.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those guys, they were studying the human consciousness and how to roll. So basically, go in the astral and pull these fractals and put them in the clone bodies or put them back in your body, but program them. They were able to do that.
Gotcha.
It's very, very, I don't know how they were able to do that. It's just, like, way past my...
Is that what we as humans call beliefs? A belief system?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, quote unquote.
So basically, all humans, they'll have maybe 10 soul fragments, right? Throughout their life, they're traumatized, and those pieces will jump out of their body and go run away in the astral and hide. Okay? And as you lose more of yourself, you change. But then you can, like I said, you go back and you get those 10 pieces, and you become whole again. But as each of those soul fragments rejoins you, there'll be something of an echo. Like sometimes you'll have flashbacks of that trauma that altar, took, that went through. Because remember, when we're traumatized, a lot of the traumas, we won't even remember them. Because our altar took the memory of it when it left.
So you're in pure form when you're first birth, when you come out of the mother's womb. I mean, you are your pure self. You don't have any of those things yet. I mean, they're going to come. They're coming. They're there. But I mean, there's moments where, I mean, when you're that young, like you said, when you're meditating and talking to the universe when you're young, and eventually all those pieces leave you, and you form until you believe, and until you can go find those pieces again, is what you're saying.
Right. And unfortunately, unfortunately, though, a lot of us humans die without ever even doing that. So that's why we have to come back, so we can come and get them again. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, because we're asleep. A lot of them. I mean, most people I know are asleep.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So if they transition, if they die, not having done the work, they're gonna have to come back to get those pieces. Do you see what I'm saying?
And they won't go to where we want to go home. Basically, they're not going home until they get those pieces.
Right. Exactly. Do you see?
Yeah, I see it. I understand. It's weird that I understand.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the illuminated naughty ones, though, like I said, they will start the splitting before the baby is even born. They already do it when it's just a fetus. I don't know how they do it, but they do it before the baby's even born. Because if the baby already is easily fractured, the child will be easily fractured. It'll be very easy to make many altars because it started young. They started young, and that's what they do.
That makes that makes sense.
And also, children are remember, their psychic abilities are on 100% when they come in, and so that's why they try to look for children that have gifts. They look for children who have seraphim genetics, who were part of this top of this hierarchy of angels. They go out and they look for these types because they know where they are in the hierarchy of angels, and they use them for their powers. And then remember, their clones also carry their powers, so they can use that to their advantage. But like I said, if you look at it from the top, it's our own selves doing this.
It's our own selves doing it. We're almost we're. It's almost like if you're not, we're almost stuck. Not it's stuck. I don't want to say stuck. That's the wrong word.
No, but I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. It's hard. It's like I said. It's called what is it called?
Because I feel like the human mind is not capable to understand these things for the most part.
Right, not until those other chakras come online.
And you have those genetics or those abilities and those special gifts to understand.
Right, and those gifts are tied to the top chakras.
Wow.
Remember, the heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye chakra, and crown chakra. That's your spiritual connection side of the chakras. So that's why they cut it off. But like I said, some of us came here with they knew we were coming to fix this, so they grabbed us. They wanted to grab the kids that were going to be coming in with these full abilities. And I know it's confusing because there's so many different... It's not.
It's so fucking weird because I'm thinking back to it. I'm thinking something just popped into my mind that I kind of forgot, but it awakened. Me and my twin, we had the same masseuse, and she says, this is such a weird story. She was one day she's giving me a massage, and it's kind of in my leg area. I have this bump under my skin, in my inner kind of thigh bump area. And she goes, your twin, I don't want to say her name for some reason, I'll just say her twin. Your twin has the exact same one on her leg. And,
wow.
And I'm like, really? And I never thought it, and I went home, and I said, hey, let me see your leg. And I looked, and I felt it, and it's a bump under her skin in the same place as mine. And I said, look, I have the same thing on mine.
Oh my God, do you know what that is? I'm getting right now that was when you guys were still one soul, one being, one person, that you were injured there. There was an injury there, a trauma happened there. In another life, where you are one being. Do you understand? Because twins are split.
Yes.
They used to be one person, then they split, and then they come back together. But while you were together in the beginning, though, your first experiences as living as one being, something happened there in that area. And that's why you both have that same birth bump or whatever. It follows you from life to life to life.
Wow.
Usually that won't heal. It won't stop showing up until you've cleared and healed that trauma that you experienced together in that life.
Wow. I didn't think about that. It was just something that I never thought about that for some reason. When the masseuse said it kind of just went one ear and out the other. And
now when you're thinking about it, you're like, wow.
And now fast forward 2 years later, these things, I'm like, wow.
Yeah. You'll know that, and you'll remember, you'll start to remember more stuff because, like I said, remember the programming is set up so you don't remember. So as you start to come back online and your active, all that shit activates, you're going to start to remember more and more and more stuff that you would never usually remember.
And this lady, and I keep mentioning to her, this lady Lonnie, this girl. Maybe I shouldn't say her name, but I mean, too late now, Lonnie.
I only have like 200 subscribers. It's okay.
Okay, good. She played such an integral role in this journey of ours, and I feel like she's about to play an integral role in this again, because she keeps coming up this name for me. And I think, I don't know, I think she's, I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
Well, remember, every person you meet in your life is part of your journey. And especially now, once you start awakening, pay attention to the people that you come across. Even a person that walks by you on the road. They are there to come in your energy. There's a reason for it. Either good or bad.
Now I'm looking at this bump on my leg as in a whole new different way.
Exactly. Everything means something, I'm telling you.
Wow. I feel it.
So where is it on your inner leg?
I feel it right now underneath my skin. Yeah, it's on my, if I'm looking down, it's on my right leg, and it's almost comes in, and it's like, you can see a little discoloration where the bump is underneath. It's a little blue. It's been there it's been there as long as I can remember.
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting. I'm trying to see more, if I can see more what's happened in that area, but I'm not getting much right now. I took the fella. But I'm going to dig into that later.
Please dig into that. Because
let's see what happened. I have an injury, a trauma in another life that I'm trying to heal too, that it's my spleen. It's on the left side.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked, is this from a trauma? Was I injured in the spot? And I got a yes. So that's something. And sometimes they won't give me direct answers because they know it's part of my work and I have to do it myself. It's so annoying to have an open line to these angels, but then when they say, oh, no, sorry, can't tell you. You have to figure that one out for yourself. It's so frustrating. Because it's like, that's part of the healing journey is going within to meditate and do the actual work and then be shown when it's ready. Like, everything happens in divine timing. Everything happens in divine timing.
Yeah, I want to ask if this woman Lonnie is going to play a role in my journey again, but I just feel like I'll find that out in time.
Yeah, and I'm getting a huge yes from that.
A huge yes?
Yes, a huge yes.
This is the same woman that, oh my God, I feel like I'm almost floating right now. This is the same woman who came and said, you vibrate higher than anybody that I've ever met in 3D form, she told me. I said, I've never met someone like you who vibrated so high.
See? Yeah, she knows this. So she's clearly awakened, right?
She's 100% awakened, this woman. Yeah. She gives psychic readings. She's one of my twin's best friends. She gives a lot of psychic reading. She's actually my twin's spiritual advisor.
Wow.
And we have talked.
That's probably why, I heard a huge yes. Michael and Lucifer both. They're kind of had it. Of course, you should know this. So, you should know this still.
I should know this exactly. I know. That's why I messaged you, Gretchen, this morning. I said, I don't even know why I'm asking. I know.
Trust your own intuition, right?
Yeah.
And you know how you can tell the difference usually also, and I've heard this in a video, but it also makes perfect sense. There will be, listen to this, you'll know how there's a way to know the difference between imagination and fantasy and your intuition. When it's your intuition, there'll be synchronicities happening at the same time. Because in a fantasy, there's no synchronicities. The universe isn't going to say, oh, yes, this fantasy is real over and over if it's not. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, my God. Everything is so synchronized in my life right now.
You'll be thinking, if you say you're thinking about something and then you see 11:11 on the phone or 10:10, or a song comes on that plays says this person's name at that same time, that's the universe saying, yes, I'm your intuition and this is real.
I know. I think
almost to it's so creepy and uncomfortable.
Right? It's so creepy. Yesterday, Gretchen, 3 days ago at 5:02 a.m., I woke up from a missed call and it was just a robocall. It was but at 5:02 a.m. and I'm like, what the fuck? And it was it was my twin's name. Mm-hmm. It was from Lindsay, I should say the name. I don't want to say it. Lindsay, California.
Okay.
And I'm like, how is a robocall at 5 a.m. from the city
right.
calling me right now? This is just, I can't, yeah.
Were you sleeping? Were you just had waken up, or what had happened?
I had just, actually, my alarm was set for 5 a.m., and the call came in, and I just woke up because I had to go to work, and the call came in at 5:02, and I said, who the fuck is calling me at 5:02 a.m. in the morning?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I looked, and it said...
That's also the time when you are just returning from your sleep activities, so you were probably just with her. That's what that call was saying.
You think so?
Absolutely. Yes. That was saying, good morning, I love you, like, I'll see you soon. Because remember, you see each other when you're sleeping. This higher version of yourself, wow. Right?
Okay.
So that was like basically letting you know that, that you guys are great in the higher realms, right? And that was like okay, I love you, I'll see you, have a nice day, have a nice human time, right?
And then I said to myself, when am I going to get out of this?
Yeah.
I said, when is the universe going to give me a break of this? Like, how can I explain to someone at 5:02 a.m. the city?
And it only gets more crazy. And it's fun. It's not negative. It's fun. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I am starting to gain a peace with it. I will definitely say that.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, eventually it becomes fun. I mean, like, I can't believe why am I even saying fun right now?
Why are you saying fun?
Like, it's fun, and see Michael and Lucifer and Michael, they're all, like, smiling, and laughing, because they're like, yeah, because you have fun. You do have fun. You just don't want to admit it. Because most of the time I'm like, get me out of here. I can't take this place.
I know, and then you're like, this is wild. And you like...
This is fun.
Some of the times I start smiling and I start laughing.
Right.
And I'm like, this is just... I can't explain this.
Isn't that crazy? You got 1 minute left. Oh, here we go. Hold on 1 second, Dawn, okay? Because I wanted to talk about this too. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what Michael and they're all telling me right now. Hold on a second.
I feel them. I know they're telling you stuff right now.
Yeah, they're coming through. Hold on. Hold on a second. But their thoughts are coming in at once, and it's very, I can't, guys, these are, relax. It's too much.
Do they know? I feel like they know this woman I'm talking about.
Yes, they know everybody does.
But I feel like they especially know this woman Lonnie that I'm talking about. I feel weird saying these 3D names like here, but
right?
Yeah.
Yes, she is a part of our family.
She is.
She is a part of our family, yes.
So you know what she told me once? Like, I want you to, if they keep talking to you, I don't want to...
No, go ahead, because I'm cutting this chicken.
She told me once when I first, maybe the second or third day I met her, my twin was on a work call for a couple hours in the other room, and her and I were on the balcony together. She opened up a bottle of wine, and we spent a couple hours talking to one another. Mm-hmm. And we had a very deep connection, me and her, this woman. And
yeah.
She says to me, she goes, you don't want to have sex with me, by the way. You just think you do. She goes, we're from the same, she said something about we're from the same kind of place, and that sexual energy you feel is not actually sexual by nature, just to let you know.
It's creative energy.
And I'm like...
It's creative, sexual energy is also creative energy. So when our family members are around, you'll feel that sexual energy, but it's because we are creator gods.
Okay.
We create. So when we come around those that are creators like ourselves, that energy gets stirred. So yes, it's very easy to confuse the two.
And she told me, and I thought that, and I still, she goes, don't get confused sexually, don't get it confused sexually. And she was 100% awakened. 100% awakened, and I feel she's like this woman is part of our family because her presence is just as dominant, and I wasn't romantically involved with her. That doesn't even matter, the romance part, but
right,
like her presence is just as like dominant for sure, and she
vibrates high like you.
Very high, and she comes through to me always, and I guess I can't deny this anymore. This is not in my imagination. She always comes through to me in the shower.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
always.
Listen, you gotta hear my videos where they're all. I've had so many people come to me in the shower. I mean, even people that you know in the 3D realm, their other selves come visit me in the shower. All of them. Because when with water comes, it helps you tap into that psychic energy. The water does.
Oh my
You tap
God.
into the psychic energy when you're in the shower.
And she tells me every single time she comes through to me and she says, don't close your eyes. That's all I hear. Don't close your eyes.
Wow. That's awesome.
And I've been thinking this was in my imagination, but this has been coming through for years.
Yep. It's so crazy that you said this, and my listeners, the people that actually listen to all my videos, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, because Dylan, I have whole videos where I start off by saying, well, I was in the shower again. And came to me. For fuck's sake, our president came to me while I was in the shower. President T.
Oh my God. And there's one, oh, hi Bella.
At first I'm like, are these people, like, are they able to see me naked? And Michael was like, no. It's not like that. They only see, like, what you're allowing them to show. Like, what you are allowing them to see, which is only your face and your essence. Not your naked body.
It's almost like she's inside me. Like she can't see. She's inside me.
Right. But they can project out. They can project themselves out, right? And see, but it's not like they would want to see. Do you know what I mean?
And she was talking, she always talked about, and I'm trying to remember, and little bits come, because that was like a really weird period in my life when I first met my twin and whatnot. I was still asleep. She would talk about astral projecting and all this kind of telepathic and whatnot.
Yeah.
This woman, yeah, and she always comes to me in the shower and she says, don't shut your eyes, she says. Always it comes through in the shower.
I don't feel like she's probably doing work on you, helping you. She's definitely part of our family. That was Michael Love coming through saying that, by the way, when he said that, yes, she's a part of our family. That was him saying that. So what I'm getting is that she's a part of our family, and when she comes to you in the shower, she's help activating you. She's probably a part of the same oversoul as you. That's what I'm getting.
She was really, when I was with my twin flame in the flesh, she was very present in my life, and she was very dominant, and she would call me every day, and she was very...
She was like, she's like a, what do they call those? A mediator.
Yes, she was a mediator between us. And she would tell me, you need to figure out what you're going to do with all this energy because you vibrate way too high. Like...
Right.
And blah, blah, blah. And she would...
and if you don't know how to use that energy in a good way, you don't want to use it in a negative way, which apparently is what we did a lot. We would go do bad things with that energy. But you can turn that vibration and do something good about it. Do you know what I mean?
That's what she would tell me. And she said to me one time, she said, as long as free will doesn't kick in, I see you two having a child at some point, she told me.
Oh wow.
As long as free will doesn't kick in, she said.
Huh. She's probably meant ego. Because I don't see why with free will would kick in you would have a child.
Weird, right? I mean, she just said everyone has the power of choice and free will.
Oh, okay, I see what she's saying. I see what she's saying now.
Yeah.
I get it. Basically, yeah. So, because everyone has their own choices, whether they want to do that or not.
What path they want to take,
Right.
If that makes sense. But, I mean, her presence is just as strong. And I can't believe, of course, they give you a big yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Her presence...
We all have those people that are, they come into our lives just to help us when we need our help, because we get lost, because we haven't gone within yet. So we have these people that keep trying to push us in. And there'll be negative people trying to get you to go within, and there'll also be the positive people, because you're like, how can I get out of this negative stuff? What do I do? And then you'll have this positive person coming to help you, saying you need to go within.
Yeah.
You'll have negative and you'll have positive energies coming in to help you. So there's a solution. Do you know what I mean?
Wow, the shower thing is bugging me out. It always comes through in the shower.
That's so fun. It happens to me all the time. It's like anytime I take a shower, I've always got someone there with me.
I know. It's starting to... It kind of... Sometimes when I go into the shower now, I'm like, okay, be aware this is going to be like an intense experience.
Right. Here's another trick. When you're in the shower, hold your hands up, and then towards the shower,
Okay.
And imagine light going into the pipe system, like behind the shower. I charge the pipe system with the diamond sun energy now, and so it is. And so, and I keep my arms up, and I imagine this light hitting, and then I can hear the pipes start to rumble. I can literally hear the pumps, the pipes in my head starting to rumble.
Really?
Isn't that cool?
It's crazy.
Yeah. And
Wow.
do that to the water. Do that with the water you drink, the food you eat. You can charge all of it, transmute it, and charge all of it, so it's not bad for you anymore. Like when I charge my water, I'll charge my water with the diamond sun energy. I'll imagine the light leaving my hands and hitting the water, and then I'll see the light start to come up from the bottom, and it'll start to bubble and everything. I can see the water bubbling, even though it's not bubbling. I can see it bubbling in my mind, and that's how I know it's ready.
Yeah. I just the imagination just kicked in again, and I saw it's so crazy, Gretchen. And I just saw this woman that we keep speaking about. Well, and she just said, "Hi guys, I'm here," and like almost.
See, that's not just your imagination. That's real. That's real telepathic connection right there.
And she just flew away, and she laughed like, "Oh, I'm glad you're starting to figure this out." And she just flew away.
Right. Yeah, and you'll see them. They'll come in. A lot of these forms will come in as you know them. So it's probably like her higher self that's doing this, but to show you who she is, the lower levels, she'll show you this woman that you know. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's a higher version of her coming in
herself.
Right.
Because
Because remember, those of us that are fully awakened, we merge with our higher self. We become our higher self.
This woman told me too. It's so fucking crazy. She says, she's always, she goes, what? She, because she would talk about astral projection. She goes, once you tap into your higher self, you'll understand what I'm talking about and how you're able to do these types of things.
Right.
Fucking crazy, man.
You are powerful. Like, you have, and whenever I say, like, whenever I go to say the sky's the limit, like, Michael will say, no. The infinite cosmos is the limit. Like, there's no limit to what you can do. There is no limit. You can create anything, especially when we get to this new earth. But I have a feeling like we're going to go to New Earth to help set it up, and then we're going to go home. Back to our lives.
Home or back here?
Well, the New Earth is coming. Like, we're in the middle, we're in the process of going to New Earth right now.
Okay.
There's going to be a solar flash that's going to, I feel like Sophia is coming through right now. Hold on. There's going to be a solar flash that activates everybody on the planet's DNA. Some people will make it, some people will not. Some people aren't ready. It's not their time yet. It's another reset, but it's a reset for those that have been working to go on to better times and to a better experience, which is the New Earth, which is this 12. We'll have the 12 strands of DNA activated. So instead of the 2, we'll have 12. And we will have all the powers. We will have the telekinesis, the teleportation, all of that will be fully online, and we can create whatever we want. And everybody's going to have their own pocket dimension. That's why everyone, when you hear these regressions, you'll hear different experiences, different versions, is because everybody's going to have their own experience. You're going to co-create with your own soul tribe whatever you want. You want to live in a tree house, have a tree house. It's like you're going to create it with your mind. And it's all going to be authentic and organic. No more of this AI shit.
Yeah.
No more interference.
Wow.
Yeah. So the solar flash is going to happen. See, whenever I ask, sometimes I get it's going to happen this year, but then also I've gotten 2026.
2026?
Those are the 2 years there. Yeah. That's what's going to, then it's going to be like in the Bible, how they talk about the rapture. It's going to be kind of like that.
Okay.
The Bible does have true parts, but there's going to be a moment where the split happens. There's going to be a split where some people will stay on this earth, and then other people will go to the new earth.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's where, you'll be instantly healed. You'll be instantly online. But like I said, not everyone's ready.
No.
Those that their soul made the decision to go, they will be instantly transformed. And some of them, like, apparently some people are going to be, like, sleeping through this transformation. Like, it's going to be a flash, and then everyone's going to be laying down. Some people might not even have to lay down if they've been working for a long time. Other people that are up, those people that already know what's going on, that are up and able to walk around, will help the people that are laying down, that are just coming to not knowing what the hell just happened.
So another question for you. So the people, I'm like compelled to ask you this.
Yeah.
So the people who are asleep, who never grasp things, who bodies pass on, and they come back here.
Yes, but it's going to be a different Earth. It's not going to be this Earth, because this Earth is destroyed.
It's not here.
They're going to be moved to a different Earth. A different type of 3D experience. It's not going to be as bad as this one. It's not going to be as horrible as this one.
So I had a nephew, long story short, I had a nephew that was born in the same Capricorn as me in December. He was supposed to come, he came a week later than he was supposed to, long story short, and he came on the exact same day and the same hour that my grandmother passed away a few years back.
Oh, wow.
Now, keep in mind, one day before, this was around Christmas when we were all together, one day before I wake up, my dad's screaming, "Where's my starship? Where's my starship? I have to go. Where's my starship?" And I'm like, what the fuck? I have to go. Where's my starship?
Wow.
My stepmom wakes him up and she's like, you're screaming, "Where's my starship?" And then they start laughing. And I'm looking at them like, you guys have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Wow. That's crazy.
He's born in Cape Canaveral next to the space station.
Oh, wow.
Please.
That's an ultra programming site.
And the night before, and I'm in the car and I'm listening, and all of a sudden I have this weird energy come about, and Adele comes on the radio, and it's "Hello from the Other Side," that song.
Oh my god, that's cool.
And I'm like, what the fuck? The next song with it is my grandmother's favorite Bruno Mars song, and I'm like, this is fucking weird. Like,
wow, that's cool.
Then my dad says, "Where's my starship?" And then 3 hours later, we get a call that the baby's born after that.
Wow.
And this baby came out, and his eyes, it's like his eyes were looking around like he's like, and he said, and it was almost like the sense, because I saw the baby, and it was like, wow, I'm back. How did this happen?
Right?
And that's what I got from the baby. Wow. How is this? And I'm thinking to myself as I'm looking at my nephew, I said, don't worry, your ego's going to take over eventually. You're going to forget where you came from.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God. But the fact that my dad was yelling in his dream, "Where's my starship," man?
Right, because he probably was on that ship. He was probably there. Your grandmother, was it?
Yeah, it's my dad's mother.
Your grandmother was probably coming back. She came on a ship to come back down into hell.
Yeah.
And yeah, he probably saw that ship. Is that his mother?
That's his mother, his best friend. I mean, his life was devastated when she passed. I mean, that was his best friend. He didn't have a dad. It was just her and like him growing up. Her and him growing up. Yeah.
So she came back. So that's what I'm getting. Definitely came back. And she visited her son before she came back. Like they were in that ship together.
They were in that. I think they were in that ship together.
Yeah, before, and then she entered our this realm again to be reborn.
And
he probably that's so cool. I want to know what I'm gonna have to dig into that. I want to find out what if that was an Andromedan ship, a Sirian, a Palladian, a Lyran ship. I want to know what ET species your father and grandmother are from.
Please. And I know that my grandmother was asleep, but I know that they have the special DNA,
Yes, they do. They do, or else they wouldn't have been able to have you.
They wouldn't have to be on me. And it comes from my father's side. And this baby looked like it just, when I saw him and I looked in his eyes, I knew it came from the same place as me.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, my parents are both asleep, but I know that they're also both Starseeds.
Yes.
I don't know what's going to happen. When I ask the angels about what's going to happen to them, they won't tell me. It's so frustrating. They will not give me the answers about it.
And I know they are. And I explained it to my dad, and my dad even went to the lengths of posting on Facebook that day when the baby was born. Has anybody ever heard of Starseeds, like, before?
Wow, he did not.
He posted it. I gotta send it to you. He goes, "Is any?"
Oh my god.
Yes, because I was trying to explain to him the significance of all this, and I wasn't hard to understand. But he got it. But he did, but he didn't. If that makes sense.
Yeah, he's definitely an ET. I'm getting right now big time that he's an ET. I'm just so curious about what ET he is. I'm hearing Syrian, but don't take that because I don't know if the clone's messing with me. But I'm hearing Syrian right now. Serious.
Wow.
Because remember, so like our angelic self will have to they incarnate into these higher as ET beings, right? Andromedan, Sirian, Lyran. Like for instance, like you and me, we are living in all these different planets. Like I remember I did your chart and you were like from 5 different star systems. You're living in 5 different star systems right now. So then we'll step down from those levels to come to 3D. Do you see what I'm saying?
Wow.
Because we can't come down from just our angelic self. We have to incarnate into another ET level, and then we incarnate into the human, if that makes sense. Because, like, we are working, we keep getting asked to do work, and we keep saying yes, basically. So, like, while we were in the angelic realms, you were also living, say, in Sirius, and you're also living in Andromeda. You not only left your angelic life to come here, but you also left your Palladian life or your Syrian life. Like, there are so many of us here. And, yeah, you're living multiple lives in this incarnation itself, but you're also living multidimensionally in other star systems. It's really complex. I know, Bella.
Wow.
Yeah.
See what I just sent you?
Yeah, hold on a second.
That's what my dad did.
Oh, my God. I can't believe your father posted that.
I know, and he doesn't even know anything about it. I was just trying to explain like the significance of it, and he's like, when I explained it to him, he goes, I don't, it happened, I don't know.
Tell your father to message me. I'm telling you, tell him to message me, and I'll explain it to him. But that is so cool.
Isn't that so cool?
Knows about Starseeds.
I mean, I'm the one who told him. I was trying to explain to them because I was like, when he yelled out, "Where's my starship?" and then Adele song came on, "Hello from the Other Side." I'm like, you guys, I can't explain this. This is fucking crazy.
Oh my gosh, you know what video you need to send him? You need to send him that Dolores Cannon video that I sent you multiple times.
Okay.
It's a must. It's a must for all Starseeds and Lightworkers to listen to.
You know, somebody before that sent that to me multiple times and told me.
I remember someone you worked with mentioned her.
Yes.
And they said you need to check out Dolores Cannon.
And they sent me the exact same video you sent me a bunch of times.
Yeah, Dolores Cannon, she's a part of our family as well.
Mm-hmm.
She does the hypnosis, the regression. So what they do is they regress you, they put you in a hypnotic state. Your higher self takes over and brings you to lives that you're living right now for a reason. They show you the light that you need to see for that specific time. Right? They show you that, hey, you're not just a human, you're living multi-dimensional, multi-dimensions at the same time, and you're here for a mission. You are not just a human. All humans, the reason their DNA is so special and the reason that all these ETs are so obsessed with the human DNA is because we're multidimensional. We can live in multiple realities at the same time. And we can move through space and time like you know how
So my father was in multi-dimension. My father, when he was asleep, was in another multi-dimension on a ship.
Right.
Going, yeah, that's so fucking crazy, man.
He probably went to one of it. See, when we go to sleep, we go into for the more advanced, we go into like maybe 5 different energy bodies, and every energy body is connected to a different dimension. So you'll have a 4th dimensional body, a 5th dimensional body, a 6th dimensional body, all the way up to 15, right? And sometimes it depends on how advanced you are. You can go into all 15 at the same time when you're sleeping.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? So like if say you go into your 6th dimensional body or 7th dimensional body. So when you go into that 7th dimensional body when you're sleeping, you go to the 7th dimension because that's your body in the 7th dimension. And say you're living in on Andromeda.
Okay.
Right? Or Sirius or the Pleiades, what have you. You're gonna go visit that life, or go check in on your other lives or your parallel lives, or do work. It's crazy. There's this is so much bigger than we can even comprehend.
Wow.
So cool, isn't it?
No, it is quite, and I mean, there's no denying it, because, I mean, how would my nephew be born on the same day my grandmother's passed, and the night before my father yelling, "Where's my starship? We got to get on the starship."
Right.
I mean, you can't. There's no denying it.
He was still connected to that part of himself when he woke up, you know. And I love when like our higher self lets that happen, because remember how I told you a lot of the times they'll take our memories away. They will, you know, say, "Oh, you can't remember this life because you're going back to your human life." They'll take the memories away, but sometimes they will let us remember.
Is that why you can't remember dreams sometimes?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, that's as well another reason. Yes, because most of the time, and a lot of I found a lot of dreams are just it's an overlay of what's really happening. So they'll play you this weird, you know. Sometimes it is a real message, sometimes it is a real thing, but sometimes it's an overlay.
Okay.
So say you go to sleep. Hold on, I'm lighting a cigarette. Hold on. Okay, say that you are doing angelic work for the SSP.
Okay.
Which you are, by the way. When you go to sleep, you will, excuse me, you will basically go to one of your other energies, even a possible clone of yourself, right?
Okay.
When this clone has been upgraded, right? It's got all of your powers, but then it also has these upgrades where, like, you know, you are able to access all these other ET lives, where you have the same powers as all these ETs that you are living right now.
Okay.
And you'll go into, and you'll go and you will battle. You will battle in you will fight this war that we're fighting right now. You'll go to the moon. You'll go to Mars. You'll go to off this planet to battle these negative aliens. And you'll literally be battling, shooting. You know, Philip used to have dreams of, and I told him they weren't dreams, where he would, and because he would remember sometimes his battles, he would come back and tell me, he'd wake up, he goes, "I just had a dream, I was shooting light balls out of my hand at these beings." And I was like, "Yeah, that wasn't a dream." You remember it. You just remembered a battle, that's all.
Wow.
And see, they wanted him to remember because they were trying to wake him up, you know, get him to start doing the inner work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, sometimes, though, so say I'm battling, right? I'm during a battle, but then they'll show me something. They'll show me a dream scene with the same people that I'm battling with, that are battling this fight with me, but they'll show this dream that makes no sense. Like, we're walking in circles. But these people I'm walking in circles with, these people that I'm walking in circles with are the people that I'm fighting with against the dark. Wow. So say I have a dream of you, and just as an example.
Okay.
I'm having a dream of you, Alina, and Larissa, right?
Okay.
And we're walking on a track, in a circle over and over and over. And I'm like, why do we keep walking in circles? What's happening? What's happening is the four of us are battling right now. Behind the scene, what's really happening is we're fighting. We are kicking some ass.
Okay.
We're shooting light balls out of our hands.
Yeah.
Or we're flying a ship. We're chasing a reptilian. You know, there's so many different things that we're doing.
Because I had a dream about this woman, one of my buddy's girlfriends, and I don't remember what it was. I know she was there. I know it was significant, and I even reached out to her. I'm like, I had a dream about you, and I don't remember what it was, but I remember it was very significant. We were probably fighting with each other.
Right. Or fighting with. I mean, like, you're fighting against the bad guys together.
Yeah, with.
Right.
Because she definitely has a special energy to her, for sure. I mean, you can tell sometimes when you do meet people, you can tell that they have glimpses of DNA from where you're from.
Right. You can feel their energy immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they are from your own soul tribe, you will feel it. You'll feel like you already know them, that you can be comfortable around them, because your soul level, you know them already.
Like you and I talking, we haven't talked in years on the phone, and I feel like I just talked to you yesterday.
Right, because we do. Because in reality, we're with each other every day.
Yes.
So even if we're apart in this realm, we're still together in the higher realms every day. But we needed to pause because we had work to do.
Yes.
More inner work.
Yes, and you gotta let people learn for themselves.
Right, exactly. So we'll go time. Go ahead and stop the recording.
Hey guys, so I had her stop the recording because it was already past 2 hours, and I know people don't want to sit through, a video that's longer than 2 hours because we're humans. All right, well, I'll see you next time. I love you guys. Shields up, swords up. Let's get it. Oh, and thank you, Dylan. I love you.